Alright, everybody, so here we go, straight right into like our next episode here. And here we go.
Hey, Mr. Know-It-All is here. You know, your focus buddy who never smiles. I didn't know what to do with him, so I had him wait in your room.
Got it. Thanks. Well, Silence. Looks like you finally found a door you could open without me.
I'm glad it's there, actually. It kept me from having to mingle with the company you keep. But enough prattle. I believe you owe me an explanation. Your plans for the Zenith base?
You're right. I do owe you. My spear in your throat for deceiving me again. At the Hades Proving Lab.
I doubt you asked me here for that kind of reckoning.
No. Right now, I need your help. So I'm giving you one final chance. But if you ever betray me again, I will kill you no matter what the circumstance. Understood?
Very well. Though we'll both face a decidedly short future if you can't get us inside that base.
Aloy, your other guest is here. She's, coming to you.
Thanks. Good timing. The truth is, I can't actually get us into the base. But she can.
The company you keep is even worse than I thought.
Not a fan of surprises, are you? Oh, look. That must be your little invention.
Does the weapon work? Without self-destructing?
Of course it does. I've eliminated the imperfections and greatly improved its design and output.
How can we be sure?
Care for a demonstration?
Enough, both of you. We're in this together, at least for now. Go talk to Erend. Tell him I said to give you rooms of your own. I'll come see you when I get a chance.
Oh, no. You first.
She's like this,
I'll
gonna
get
be a...
everyone in the control room, so told I could...
She's like this, gonna be a pain
That's
in
what she
my
knows about the Zenith base.
butt. She's like this, gonna be a pain in my butt. Alright, so I know I just completed another mission, so... grab all those.
You flew? Kotalo told me. And took out Regala's machines? You know what? I don't even know why I'm surprised. I saw we have visitors and a new weapon. Does this mean we're ready to take the fight to the Zeniths?
Almost. I suppose you saw that Tilda is here.
I almost went up to her to ask her, well, every question. Every diviner I know would kill to get 5 minutes with one of... But now that she's here, I don't know if I'm probably both.
You sure you're... I know things...
Why not a few...
Guess the more the... Are you okay?
I was wondering. She seems angry.
Don't worry. We're going to point the Zeniths.
If you say...
I hope our new guest...
This Silence... He's the one who built the weapon that can take...
He is. He refuses to dole out his secrets to us.
Oh.
You know that special part of us that makes us warm, kind? Yeah.
I'll...
I see you've got your new arm ready to go.
Yes. It still feels strange. I've gotten used to the absence, but no matter. I'm sure I will need it before the attack on the Zenith base is through.
Okay.
The more I learn about the old ones, the less different they seem from the people of today.
Okay, so healing potions, that.
The 10 road machines, too, in a way.
There.
Haven't seen you since the battle at the Grove.
I saw you fly on the wings of the 10. I would say that I am...
Thank you.
It is I who should be thanking you.
Did you meet Tilt?
There is something about her that I wouldn't be surprised if my sword went through her and...
Honestly, with her? Your people keep mentioning the wings of the...
The visions tell us that the 10 flew on great metal machines with wings and leapt into bat for us. To imitate this feat is the ultimate expression of martial prowess. It is why the challengers leap into the arena, and now, like the deeds of the 10 themselves. So,
I won't lie.
I can only imagine.
Things will get ugly once the Zeniths you'll need every trick you've ever learned.
I would have it known. Many soldiers died in the old world to make sure we will endure on that. Though, I am curious how you went without an army of our...
Leave that to me.
As you say.
Look, I know you're probably not, but I want her on our side when we...
It is more than she deserves.
Thank you, Kata. I have to...
Understood.
Aloy, I'm glad to see you're okay. I heard you gave the Tanakh something to... I was half expecting you to burst in through the ceiling riding a sunwing.
Sorry to disappoint. Thoughts on our new...
I'd say she smells like death, but even death smells of some... She's more like a cold piece of metal. Bent on repelling...
She's... ready to head over to the...
Whatever comes.
Have you talked to any of...
Aaron and I tried speaking, but apparently our... tribal prattle is
Charming, is it? I have...
I'll make sure...
Thanks.
Hey,
Wish I could say we don't need them. But silence even Regala.
yeah. Enemy of...
Right. You,
I tried. I don't think even a hot forge could melt that ice. And you say she wants to help?
I think so. Doesn't look like any...
Yet. So, Katala tells me you flew. I've been busting my balls trying to learn to read. You're out there having all the fun.
Don't worry. You'll be getting all the fun you can handle soon.
Looking forward to it.
I guess silence is...
I was hoping he'd give me an excuse to hammer his sorry...
Please don't.
You telling me you wouldn't want to get just one good hit on that after everything he's...
Sure. Later. About...
Oh, you know what?
Did you need something? Bravo. You managed to sway a Zenith to your side.
Not a chance. I thought you said the weapon was ready.
There's always room, but that's not why you're here. I assume you want to comprehend my undertaking.
Since when were you...
Since you turned this into a waiting game. Modest success.
Okay, so your big plan, everything you've been... Let me see if I got this straight. You learned about the Zeniths from Hades when you interrogated it. Then you came up with a plan to defeat them by using a Tenakth army and that weapon. And to get the Tenakth to fight for you, or rather the Sons of Prometheus, armed Regalla's rebels with override tech.
Did you have an actual question, or are you...
So all this time, even before I found the... You were out here scheming. Why couldn't you just tell me?
When I learned of the Zenith's return to Earth, I laid out my plans. I knew I would one day require an army of overzealous Tenakth to assault the Zenith base. The casualties would be extreme. And I knew you would never allow such a sacrifice, no matter how necessary. Thus, I devised a means to remove your interference from the equation at the Hades Proving Lab.
Why create the Sons of... You didn't need a Sarah to make override tech.
They were a necessary safeguard. My time serving Hades and the Eclipse demonstrated the risks of getting directly involved. Through the Sons of Prometheus, all while remaining anonymous.
Except to a Sarah. How did you get a Sarah?
I knew there was an associate of the Oseram tinker, Durval, who escaped his failed assault. It was trivial to track her down and gain her. She wanted to succeed where Durval had.
So you promised her Regalla. The Sarah would help you create a machine writing and wanted to see Meridian burn as much as she did.
And so a partnership was born out of thirst for good.
You think you had everything figured out?
I did.
You wanted me to surrender to the Zeniths at the Hades Proving Lab. They almost killed me.
Based on everything I knew about them, I concluded they would find you a useful asset, thereby keeping you out of harm's way and, more importantly, out of my way.
So you really didn't know they had their own clone of Elizabeth?
No. Unfortunately, there was no way I could have known that, but...
Detail? Well, I guess if it wasn't for that, we would... Tell me about the weapon.
I've upgraded the delivery system. It now emits a wave-like effect covering a significant distance.
That doesn't fully answer my question.
No. But after all, why did you withhold your plan for dealing with the Zenith drones? Yes. Even suffice it to say that the weapon, the intricacies of how.
Why help Regalla take over? If you wanted an army, you could have just gone to Hikaru.
Before Regalla's rebellion, Hikaru was only concerned with battling machines and fostering friendships with Akarja. Even if I gained his ear, he would never agree to send his forces to battle a threat he couldn't
So helping a bloodthirst...
Yes. All Regalla craved was war. Against the Karja and anyone who threatened, she would have led the tribe into battle without which was precisely...
While I was out there, I had a couple run-ins with the Quen.
The tribe from across the ocean. And?
Their entire tribe was shaped around the discovery focuses. One of them, Alva, even joined me here. Don't you want to know more about them?
No. They stumbled upon the greatest technological artifact from the ancient world, and what did they do with it? They shrouded the knowledge they unearthed in mysticism and taboo, creating a pantheon out of corporate shields.
Yes, well, it also led them to Thebes.
Did it now?
So those run-ins with the Quen, on one of them I teamed up with their expedition to search Thebes. We found Pharaoh at the end.
You must have needed Omega clearance. So, what was it like?
Worse than you can imagine.
He single-handedly wiped out collective human knowledge. I'm sure it was still less than he deserved.
Let me guess. You would have scraped him into a jar so you could prod his brain, like what you did with Hades.
For a start.
Alright, so I'll let you know when it's... And try not to mess with Tilda while you're in here. I don't need the two of you butting heads.
Ah, yes. I wonder if you understand. For someone to live as long as she has, outlast as many calamities, well... You're...
Yeah.
Survival, I'd hoped you'd recognize.
Do you know something?
Oh, I know a great deal of things. But on this...
Oh, a feeling.
Nope, that one's definitely a normal door.
Oh, sure. Yeah, of course.
Nope. Nope, she's not in there. Definitely better tell you that for sure. Nope, she's definitely not in there.
This place smells wrong. No sand or wind, only cold steel. And the others up there, your squad.
They can hold their own. As for this base, it may not be what you're used to, but it is a shelter.
Call it what it is. A cage.
You came here on your own.
For the battle you promised. So for now...
The whole time I've been in the West, I'd at least like to know...
You were among the enemy.
Why did...
Dork, Jiroka, and the Karja pushed into the desert to raid our people. My brother's squad was among the first to intercept them. But the Karja captured them, strung them up, and burned them alive as an example. It was too late. I thought...
So you wanted vengeance?
Vengeance. To tear down the Karja's cities and drown the land. Hunt down every last survivor and grind their bones. But my chief betrayed me.
How did Hikar... Fashav told me how he became a marshal. He earned it just like any Tenakth.
It was an insult. No outlander can ever deserve to wear our armor, bear our marks. And then a Karja messenger was brought before us. That's when I knew I had dragged his treacherous corpse to the gates of the...
What happened when the Karja messenger...
The quivering priest bore a message from their new king. No more war. Suddenly the Karja wanted to talk peace. An embassy at the very fortress. A true Tenakth would never take a Karja. Their blood exists to be spilled. But a Karo Lap, he showed himself a Karja-loving traitor.
And lost.
His mercy was just done. I vowed never to rest, so with an army of souls, the day you got him.
The deal you made. Override tech in exchange for... How did Silence approach?
That name means nothing to me. My agreement was with the Oseram Asera and their sons of Prometheus.
So all this time, you didn't even know who you were really dealing with? And you trusted an Outlander?
If it was a trick, I would have crushed her. But she spoke with the same burning hatred for the Karja. And she offered me the chance to run the terror in your enemy's eyes when I bet you've...
I don't think so. What about your end of the deal?
Had I killed Akaro and become chief, these Xenos would have been the but because of you. My people will continue to console.
Because of me, hundreds of Tenakth won't throw away their lives in a battle they can't win. Are you really going to fight a...
I have no reason to.
Really?
I failed to kill Hakaro, failed to eliminate you. The Karja remain out of my reach, cowering. All I have left are the screams of those long dead. So show.
All right.
Ever since you got in my way, I've wanted to see your boat. But if I'm to die, then it might as well be with the one who flew.
I'll let you know when it's time to move.
What the... Okay, there we go. Now we're in the kind of order. Okay, so where the heck did she go?
There you are. Well done, Aloy. Despite my reservations, you managed to secure Silence and his weapon. You're truly a shining example of Liz's fortitude.
I've been thinking about what you said at your house. How you were it was more than that, wasn't it?
Perceptive as ever. You're right, we were together for a time.
Okay, so...
I was an orphan. I had always been alone. By my 30s, I was starting to wonder if that was simply my fate in life. And then I met Liz. We kept running into we'd have coffee. At some point, it became drinks. I thought it was just shop talk, an exchange of ideas, but then I was surprised at... Soon we were flying halfway across the world every other week just to meet up. For the first time, I didn't feel lonely. I think Liz felt the same way at first. She had lost her mother a few years back. I filled a void, but as time passed, it seemed as though she wanted land.
So helping me, restoring Elizabeth's dream.
A second chance, yes. I made a mistake leaving Earth while Liz stayed behind. I should have done. So when I saw you, a woman who beyond even what made Liz a phenomenon, I knew I had to help you.
You said before that you're not, that you never were. But you went along with...
Out of necessity. I'm not proud of it. But complicity became both when Earth was consumed and when the colony on Sirius... I did what I had to try to undo, hence the data channel with Beta. This and the little trick I pulled.
Why did you make the data channel look like your house?
I built that house as a shelter to weather any storm. A safe place, not just for me. Cultural artifacts of incalculable value. Truly, some of the great...
And you wanted Beta?
Yes. Her upbringing, I thought if it would bring a heritage, every data being drummed into her. I'm sorry I had to cut up. She needed its shelter.
Why do you think Elizabeth...
I've wondered that for 1,000. She was brilliant. She cared so deeply for the world. But it also felt like she kept everyone at arm's length, including me. She never wanted to share her burden. I think, in the end, she had a core that she never let anyone be part of. Sometimes I wonder if anyone really...
I found a recording of you and Elizabeth back in the Proving Lab after Farzineth's attempt to...
Yes. A most unpleasant
She said something after the call. I think she regretted how things ended between you.
Did she? All this time, thank you for telling me. I've always hated that those were the last words we ever said to each other. And that her last impression of me was as a functionary of Farzineth, not who I truly am.
When it's time to break into the Zenith base, what can we expect?
I'll go over the full layout once you've assembled your... Suffice it to say, we will need to push as fast as dealing with heavy resistance along. There are also printing facilities where the others have been amassing the natural resources they've stripped from the region.
What for?
First for use in the base's infrastructure, and then to fabricate more Spectre drones, a small army of them.
When I was out in the wilds, I saw a shuttle take off from the island, heading for space.
It was likely ferrying materials to and from our ship in orbit. After hundreds of years luxuriating in our digital comforts, the ship was barely space-worthy when we made our escape. Disaster can strike at any moment, we've learned.
Have you figured out how Silence...
No, and he's been very careful. I'll admit it bothers me, but I am confident it...
How many of them are in the base?
10. Including only a handful of us made it to our ship when our colony collapsed.
So, Eric... was he always a bloodthirsty psychopath?
I believe he got worse over time. On Earth, he was the founder of a profitable private military company. A band of cutthroats, in other words. Even as governments abandoned human combatants in favor of automated warfare. He found success with clientele that required a more personal touch. There were also rumors that he personally hunted and killed his targets. On occasion, all for the thrill of it. But on Sirius, he retreated to virtual reality simulations. In them, he could go on rampages as violent as he pleased, though I suspect with diminishing satisfaction.
All of his tribe believes he was one of the greatest people from the old world.
Then they would be quite disappointed to meet him, though I'm sure he'd bask in the adoration.
What can you tell me about Gerard?
He was the head of the world's largest financial conglomerate, and as such had dealings with almost every major corporation. It made him one of the wealthiest people on Earth, and certainly the wealthiest among Far Zenith.
What does one person do with that much money?
Buy more power, more influence. Gerard's always believed himself to be a refined patrician, able to maintain control with a polished smile. But beneath that exterior is a cold and calculating operator. It was his decision to restrict Beta's upbringing to her digital educators, the avatars of the Apollo database, while we were painted as her benefactors.
Well, we'll deal with him soon enough. And the others.
I would very...
When I was in the ruins of Vegas, I found data on a man named Stanley Chen. I think he was a Zenith.
Stanley, ever the optimist. He was one of the good ones. When we established our colony, he built an exact replica of Las Vegas in virtual reality. Lights, shows, gambling, every detail perfectly recreated. And while others cloistered themselves in their own fantasies, he flung his doors wide to everyone.
The way you're talking about him, I'm guessing he didn't make it back to Earth?
No, he perished when our colony was destroyed. He would have been thrilled to discover that part of his beloved city survived.
When Beta escaped and hid in an ancient research facility, I saw another one of the Zeniths, Verbena. Who was she?
A dull star amidst a sea of brighter constellations. Unlike most of Far Zenith's members who amassed their wealth through shrewd business deals and technological achievements, Verbena inherited her billions. Her father had achieved great success in the luxury holotourism industry. At age 24, she became the world's most eligible bachelorette, branding herself a life designer. Someone who leverages their fame to influence the choice of others.
What? Like a cult?
In a way, yes.
Well, she must have done something right to have survived this long.
She was her own brand of ruthless. That much is true. But even rats can cling to a vessel for escape.
Okay, so I've had run-ins with a handful of Zeniths. What about the rest?
An array of the wealthiest people on Earth. Titans of their industries.
And let me guess. All selfish and ruthless to the core?
Most, but not all. There were a few with whom I got along. Annika Murjani, for instance, was always delightful. She founded the Holonet's most successful dance channel and was herself mesmerizing to watch. And I had fascinating discussions with Song Jiao about her work in cellular biology. Our immortality treatments are due in part to her achievements. But then there were others like Devin Miller, the CEO of a fast food printing corporation. His only real preoccupations were perfecting his golf swing and taking self-hollows. When I think about all of us, we really should have accomplished more. We had eternity.
Alright, so...
Okay. I'll be here until... And thank you, Aloy, for giving me this... My past is always more than once up. I see Liz's dream fulfilled.
Maybe we can make it happen.
We will.
Okay, so that's everybody done. Let's see here. Whew. Where are we at on time right now? Let's see, 32 minutes. Alright everybody, so we are going to be starting up here with the next main quest, which is Singularity here in like the next episode here. So I'm going to do another big save here. That should be on that one. So I'm going to do another save here. And then we are going to end like this episode right here, and I'll see everybody in like the next one.